Yo guys, what is up? My name is Duracraft and welcome back once again to another Minecraft video. Today we are taking creative building to the heavens. Yes, the beautiful sky, to build ourselves a sky temple. This idea was once again suggested by you guys, so thank you for the amazing ideas. I've been really excited for this one. Challenging, but worth it. Now, as you may know, we have transformed a jungle temple as well as built an ice temple. Today's project is going to be very different, so sit back, smash that like button, subscribe, and without further ado, let's get down to building. Now, for those of you who have watched my previous videos may know that glass is useful for various different things, whether it's creating decorative windows, fog, or even flame. But what about clouds? I think white stained glass is going to do just the trick for today's video. Now, I don't exactly know how massive this project is going to be, so let's ignore the cloud building for now. We'll save that for later on in the video. Right now, what's important is getting a rough outline and an estimate of how massive this temple is going to be. Knowing me, I always get carried away, and it did turn out way bigger than I ever expected. But just so that you guys can get an idea, I'm aiming for something along the lines of mythology, Greek, Roman, fantasy, all combined into one. It's a very weird combination, but it turned out way better than I ever expected. Now, just like most Roman structures, or at least temples for that matter, they did have this sort of simple triangular rooftop. So that's what I'm aiming for in today's video. And while we're at it, I'm going to save a bunch of time by rotating the front of the building to the back of the building. But don't worry, I'll swap over the design later on in the video. I just want you guys to understand that this is not a tutorial video. This is more of a way of giving you guys inspiration and ideas for your future projects. Now, just like my other videos, I will be using a bunch of stair blocks to create sort of hieroglyphs, wave patterns, whatever you guys want to call them. I know some of you are having difficulty putting this together, so if you do want a build tips and tricks video based on just stair blocks, let me know in the comments below and I will put that together for you guys. Now, I do have to say, I was extremely indecisive throughout the entire building process. I made tons of changes and it took hours to put together. From swapping around different colors, changing the design, or even swapping the style for the staircase completely. But my idea for this video was to go for a sort of heaven, godlike structure. So a lot of monochrome colors: white, bone, white wool, clay, and a ton of quartz blocks. But don't worry, I'll add in some color later on as well. So I decided to add a bit of extra thickness to the roof. I think it was much needed, and to add in that extra color, I simply added a wall of just blue glass. Right behind the glass, I used some quartz blocks just to give the quartz a bit of a shade of blue, and then topped it off with various different designs using stair blocks. So I also built this simple top piece design right at the top of the temple as an added extra feature. Sometimes the simple things make a huge difference to any build. Right guys, now here's where things get really interesting. At least it did for me, because I had to figure out a way to create a huge entrance to grant you access to this temple. Now, apart from throwing in a bunch of extra detail and adding some extra color using some blue glass, my original idea was to create a simple archway to grant you access. But after going through various different designs, I figured out this crazy idea of adding in some huge double doors. Somehow I pulled it off, and I think the cobblestone wall as handles just work wonders for this design. So all that's left to do now is to touch up on the right and left hand side of the temple, just throwing in the same kind of design using some stair blocks and adding some glass. And as for the back of the temple, it's going to have the exact same design as the front, but instead of having a staircase and two double doors, I'm just going to add in a couple of arches. Well guys, I'm really starting to like the look of this, but believe it or not, to make this look as epic as possible, we still have a lot of work to do. I'm not going to get too carried away with the landscaping, but I just need to make sure that the temple actually blends in with the rest of its surroundings. I'm also going to throw in a custom walkway using some white carpet. This is going to spiral down to a portal. This portal is sort of as an access point to this cloud. And one thing I definitely need to add are some custom trees. Now these are ordinary trees which I decided would be a good idea to swap the leaves over for some glass pane. And just to add in some extra bit of color, I'm gonna throw in some blue vines using some blue glass pane instead. And as for the portal, just a simple design using some quartz blocks and some colored glass. Well guys, I proudly present to you my sky-high Temple of the Gods.
My child, I watched with pride as you grew into a weapon of righteousness. Remember, our line has always ruled with wisdom and strength. And I know you will show restraint when exercising your great power.
Right guys, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more, and I will see you next time. This is JeraCraft, over and out.